Hey guys, welcome back to Mock Draft Madness. We are in day 5 of doing a mock draft every day until the NFL draft in April. As always, if you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. Leave a like. Let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft. Also, let me know if you want me to try any trade scenarios. Leave those down in the comments. Let's get right into it. We have an interesting trade we're going to try today. So, someone said they want to see the Bears trade with the New York Giants. So we're going to swap 6 and 9, and we're going to give them Justin Fields. And I honestly think maybe like around, I don't know, this is kind of steep. Maybe around 4 next year gets that done. I think you got to throw a pick on top of it with that. So we are going to force this trade here, and the Bears are now picking 6. So we're going to start this draft right here. We're going to go Caleb Williams to the Bears. Then we're going to go, you know what? I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to go Jaden Daniels to the Commanders, which leaves Drake May on the board. Okay, so this is an interesting spot. So I think there is a lot of possibility of a team trying to trade up with the Patriots for whoever the third quarterback is on the board. I also have heard that the Patriots want to take a quarterback, but Elliott Wolf, I believe, who is the guy that's going to be making the picks for the Patriots, his dad, I believe, built up the Packers a long time ago, and their whole philosophy was gathering a ton of picks. So maybe that's what they want to do here. So I don't know if we should do a trade or if we should take the best guy on the board, because what I'm thinking is I think quarterbacks are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think there is an option where, and mind you guys, I'm going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. here going 6 to the Bears because that is the scenario. That's the reason they traded up. And obviously, like, we're never going to know, but we're going to be doing a mock draft every day. So that's just a scenario that's going to play out today. So I need to figure out how we're going to get there. And regardless, I think the Chargers are probably going to take a tackle or trade down. So I also am going to have a team probably trade up with either the Cardinals or the Chargers. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I think I know what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I am going to have the Patriots taking Drake May. And then I've always mocked receiver to the Cardinals, but I am going to have them taking Joe Alt here. So now you have Paris Johnson Jr., you have Joe Alt, you have your bookend tackles for probably the next 5 to 10 years on that line. So whether it's Kyler Murray or another guy playing that position, they're going to be protected. So now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have the Vikings trade up. You know what? I'm going to do a different team today. I'm going to have the Broncos trade up with the Chargers, and I'm going to have them give their 3rd and a 2nd round pick. You know what? I'm actually going to have them do this. I think that might get it done. Maybe even, maybe give them our 2nd next year, and they give us their 3rd, and then we're going to force this trade through. So the Broncos are on the clock now. They are going to be taking J.J. McCarthy. And now the Bears, they can take Marvin Harrison Jr. I think, Cardinals fans probably won't love that. And like I said, this is all just scenarios that could play out. We're doing a mock draft every day until the draft. We have to keep it a little bit interesting and do things a little differently. I think this leaves Rome on the board for the Tennessee Titans. Now we're at an interesting spot because we could have the Falcons taking Malik Neighbors to pair with Drake London, or we could have them going with a defensive player here. I think Byron Murphy would be an interesting addition, but I am going to go Jared Verse to the Falcons. I know they're really high on him, and guess what? You know what? The Giants are in a place now where they can get Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors fell to 9 for the Giants and are able to pair him with Justin Fields. So they trade down, they get assets, and they still get one of the top 3 receivers in this draft. At number 10, we are going to go, do I go to Lise Fuaga or do I go Olu Fashanu? Because in my opinion, there is no difference here in terms of what the Jets do. I think tackle is really the only way they can go. If you want to go Brock Bowers, you really can, but I just don't know. I am going to go J.C. Latham here. I'm going to switch up the tackle prospect here. Some people have J.C. Latham rated really high, and I understand why. He is a very big, talented target. So now we're sitting here at 11 with the Minnesota Vikings. What do we do? You could do, you know what? I'm going to give them Byron Murphy. I think that's a very interesting pick for them. I had them going edge, Byron Murphy to the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really, really like the way this mock draft is shaking out because it is very different from a lot of the other ones that we have done. And that is making this a little bit more fun for me. So I have had the Chargers going Brock Bowers or tackle pretty much every single time here. I also would not be surprised if they took Quinyon Mitchell or any type of corner on the board. So we have Quinyon Mitchell going as our CB1 here. And now we have the Las Vegas Raiders. And what are they going to do? Are they going to take a defensive interior player in Jerzon Newton? Are they going to take Cooper DeJean, who could be a great secondary player for them? Or could they take Michael Penix? I think Michael Penix is in play here. I also think at the end of the day, I think there is a chance, now that Russell Wilson is released, that they take Russell Wilson. I also think Russell Wilson could go to the Vikings this year, just on like a flyer deal, just a vet to kind of hold the place over. So I am actually going to give them Talisa Fuaga, give them a nice right tackle to shore up that offensive line. I don't think they're, and that was based on a comment that I got the other day saying that the Raiders would like to add a right tackle to their line. So I think that would be a good pick for them because you get a dominant run game blocker and then a pretty good pass protector as well. So at 14, we're sitting here with the New Orleans Saints, and you could go D-line, you could go O-line. I think what I'm going to do here is we can give them Olu Fashanu. I think, with Ryan Ramczyk and Trevor Penning, there's a lot of questions going on there, and at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen. So at number 15, I'm going to give them Brock Bowers. I think that gives them a very dominant weapon through the middle. And you pair him with Michael Pittman Jr., who just got franchise tag, and Josh Downs. You're giving Anthony Richardson a lot of weapons to work with. So I had a comment the other day that was talking about, going interior or going kind of Dallas Turner here. So what I think I am going to do is you could trade down and collect assets. They need interior O-line. I think that's kind of like what the whole premise is. And maybe there's a team like, let's see. I know there's a lot of teams here that I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of who could move up for Dallas Turner. Like who would want to move up for Dallas Turner or Leatu Latu. You could do the Rams. They're only a couple picks away. You could, you know what? I'm just going to go Dallas Turner to the Seahawks. I think instead of trading down and trying to collect assets, that would be a good pick for them. And now we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think I am going to go Jackson Powers Johnson here. Give them some strength in the middle of their interior O-line. Now we're at an interesting spot with the Bengals. They need a tight end, they need a tackle, and they need a defensive interior. Jerzon Newton is sitting right here on the board for them. Pretty easy. You could draft Leatu Latu, put him on the other side of Trey Hendrickson. Amarius Mims is sitting here. He is a massive tackle prospect. And that would be really good for them. I'm trying to think if anybody would possibly want to move up here and get one of these guys. So because you could really move back if you wanted one of these tackle prospects, in my opinion, into like the early 20s, just because I feel like these kind of situations right here, they don't really need that. But with the I mean, obviously, any team could use tackles. I'm not lying. Like they have Teron Armstead, Austin Jackson, Broderick Jones. I know they need a right tackle. And then the Rams, their O line it's not amazing, but it's not like horrid. So for the Bengals, what I think I'm gonna do here is, let's see what the tackle position is looking like. Troy Fontanu, okay, not bad. Marius Mims. I think with the size and speed of Mims, I think that would be a good pick for them. And then, so we're sitting here with the Rams. I think what I'm going to do is give them Leatu Latu. Give them a presence off the edge. So at number 20, we're sitting here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. I think Troy Fontanu is a good option for them. You could have him play tackle, and then if you need, you can have him play center. And I know that's kind of a position of need there, and you add versatility to that line. Like, I could go Graham Barton, but he is mostly interior. And I know Troy Fontanu is probably going to be interior, but he could also kick out the tackle if you need. And I think, with the uncertainty at right tackle, that is kind of, and I'm 99% sure Broderick Jones is playing left tackle, but I might be confusing that, so apologies if I am. But I think it gives you that flexibility and someone who could kick out if you need. I wouldn't want to take a risk on like a Tyler Guyton, and you could go Zach Frazier. Yes, it's kind of high for him at 20, but he is like pretty much only a center. Like you're not going to play him other places. So Fontanu to the Steelers, interesting pick. At number 20, we have the Miami Dolphins. They need O-line help. Give me Graham Barton. I was also thinking about possibly giving them Jerzon Newton, considering the fact that Christian Wilkins is walking. But then I am going to give the Eagles Cooper DeJean. I think that's the easiest fit for him there. At number 23, we have the Houston Texans. I could go Terrion Arnold and pair him with Derek Stingley. I could go Jerzon Newton in the interior. I could go Brian Thomas Jr. I want to work on that pass rush a little bit more, so I'm going to take Jerzon Newton here. At number 24, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Honestly, I'm going to give them, I know they have bigger needs. I know they have bigger needs. Like maybe Zach Frazier could work here because Biadasz is a free agent. And I know they definitely need corner help. So I'm between Frazier, Brian Thomas Jr., and Terrion Arnold. Because I think pairing Brian Thomas, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Brian Thomas Jr. next to CeeDee Lamb and see what we're cooking. At number 25, we have the Green Bay Packers. All right, so Terrion Arnold is sitting here. Terrion Arnold, if he's sitting there at 25 for the Packers, that should be the easiest pick in the world. At number 26, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ryan Jensen retired. That's an easy replacement with Zach Frazier. At number 27, to the Arizona Cardinals. There's a lot of things that we can do here. We went Joe Alt earlier, so they have Joe Alt and Paris Johnson Jr. They probably want to go wide receiver here. Brian Thomas Jr. is probably one of the best guys available, so I am going to give them Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. At number 28, we have the Buffalo Bills. They need I think they need some interior O-line help just for depth, but you're not going to take that in the first round. I'm not a big fan of Troy Franklin. I like Ladd McConkey, but I don't really love how he would be paired with Stephon Diggs. I just don't think that's the best use of a first-round draft pick. So they do need linebacker help. They do need DB help, but I don't love Nate Wiggins. I think he's too small. I really think he's too small, and I don't think Corey McKinstry is a certified first-round pick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a developmental piece in Tyler Guyton. At number 29, we have the Detroit Lions picking, and I don't know, they could go Peyton Wilson, but they went linebacker in the first round last year. I do kind of like the way that Chris Braswell performed at the combine, and I heard he interviewed really well. So give me Chris Braswell to the Detroit Lions. Number 30, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Now, where could they go? Because let me see, there's really no bigger receivers here. Keon Coleman has kind of dropped. I don't want to do that. You could put Ladd McConkey in that offense. I know they are going to need D-line, but I don't really love where they're at here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade back with the Raiders. So we're going to do a pick swap here, and I'm going to give them my 3rd and maybe next year's 5th, and I'm going to force this. It's kind of a lot, maybe a 6. Force that trade through. Okay, so now what I'm going to have the Raiders doing is I'm going to have them selecting Michael Penix Jr. At number 31, we have the San Francisco 49ers. I think that's the latest I've ever. No, I probably did a trade earlier or later. I don't know. At number 32, to the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know. I think Nate Wiggins has fallen quite a bit here, and I could definitely see him getting picked up in the late first round. He's just scary to me, so I'm going to give Nate Wiggins to the to the 49ers just off of value. And now we're sitting here in a very interesting spot with the Kansas City Chiefs. They could use a tackle. You know, they got Jordan Morgan there. Let me see if there's any kind of developmental guys. I think this is a bit high for Kingsley Sumatia, but I think he can actually be pretty good in the league. But I'm going to just take Jordan Morgan to the Chiefs. So this has been Mock Draft Madness Day 5. Not going to lie to you guys, this is probably my favorite mock that we've done so far. I think it's got some twists and turns in it, and we had some people going to different teams that we don't normally do, so this will throw off the ADP a little bit in the spreadsheet, which I have in the description. You can keep track of where these guys are drafted all the way throughout Mock Draft Madness. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. Leave a like. Let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft, along with trade scenarios that I can try out tomorrow because we are doing daily mock drafts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.